Guys, so we are heading to the movies once again for a brand new exciting episode.
And this time we're not pretending that the movie is real because, let's face it, that bit got old really quick.
Yeah, so this time around, guys, we are going to go see Finding Dory.
This movie we've been waiting for a while, even before we knew that we were waiting for it.
12 years. I think everybody who saw Finding Nemo in the theater immediately walked out and said, "All right, let's get ready for a sequel."
Mostly because at that point, Pixar, even though at that point Pixar wasn't really shooting out a sequel for every movie that did reasonably well.
Yeah, but this one is apparently very amazing. Ellen DeGeneres, of course, is back as Dory, who is one of the best Pixar characters ever.
And honestly, I think this is and honestly, I don't think this is like Cars, where it was essentially, well, it's selling a lot of toys, let's make another one. It's essentially, Andrew Stanton was like, I've got a new story, let's get working on it.
And it's great, and it's kind of great too that with the failure of John Carter, we got a sequel to Finding Nemo, which is now the top-grossing animated opening of all time. So we take the bomb that was John Carter and we turn it into the highest-grossing animated opening weekend of all time. I think Andrew Stanton has bounced back pretty well.
And which means Brad Bird, you are good to go after the Tomorrowland fiasco.
Yep. So with that being said, we'll see you guys after the jump.
Bye.
All right, guys, we are back, and I look like I'm about to tell you a ghost story because of this lighting.
Well, the ghost story is one time that Pixar lost their touch, and then they got it back again.
Finding Dory was pretty damn fun.
And, well, let's just jump into it. Obviously the animation is good, because you can't go to a Pixar movie and not expect a shit ton of really good animation. Damn it. Whatever. And not expect some really good animation.
There is a short before the movie that actually is like taking some cues from The Good Dinosaur with some almost photorealistic stuff going on with it.
Except whereas The Good Dinosaur had photorealistic backdrops and cartoonish character designs, with this one they went full on photorealistic throughout the entire thing, character designs and all.
And then with this movie, it was just as good as Finding Nemo. Maybe, yeah, it was about on par. I would hesitate to say it's better than Finding Nemo, because almost nothing's better than Finding Nemo when it goes. It set such high expectations. There was no going bigger than that.
And the thing about this movie is that it's a hugely emotional story about a character who you didn't think would be able to carry a whole movie, but like we said before the jump, Ellen DeGeneres really knocked it out of the park the first time she ever had to play Dory, so it's obviously she's just jumping right back into it, and she nailed it.
And you can tell she loves this character so much because she spent years pestering on her show to get Finding Nemo a sequel, and she succeeded in the best way possible, because this is the best possible sequel we could have gotten for Finding Nemo.
I mean, and Albert Brooks took it more of a backseat this time, because it's not about him, it's about Dory. It's not about him going to find Nemo because they found him. In fact, the fun thing is that Nemo actually tags along with him, and there's enough of the new characters and a mixture of the old characters to give us a really good story and remind us just why we fell in love with this movie in the first place.
We got a lot of great nods to the original, but unlike some sequels where we just get bogged down with all the nods to the original and everything and yeah, the original existed, it's awesome, but this time around they took it and made it the best movie they possibly could without just copying the story from the original.
And yeah, I mean, Andrew Stanton did a great job with that. He directed the movie, he wrote the movie, and he's constantly saying things, and throughout the entirety of the promotion for this, he has been stating that this was a hard movie to write because Dory is the lead character, and Dory has always been a hard character to write. And it's just great because the movie is because it makes you feel all great. It gives you origin stories for things you never knew you wanted the origin story to. Like, Just Keep Swimming. That has an origin story.
And we were like, and we at 23 years old, we're sitting there tearing up at the origin story of Just Keep Swimming. It was just such there was an emotional punch, but it didn't. But honestly, this movie didn't pack as much an emotional punch as Inside Out did last year.
But either way, it's still Pixar at their best. I mean, and it was great. I mean, and let's talk about the new characters. Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia plays a whale shark, who's Dory's best friend from where she comes from, and it's hilarious. Ty Burrell, I freaking love Ty Burrell in this movie.
Ed O'Neill steals the show as Hank the Octopus.
Septipus?
The Septipus. We need, like Jeremy Jones says, we need a sequel to that. Finding Hank, he needs to go looking for his eighth leg.
Or something like that, because Ed O'Neill does a great job, and there are so many great jokes. Idris Elba is in this movie for like 10 minutes tops, I guess, but his part is so great. In fact, it's a Wire the weirdest place for a reunion of The Wire.
Yeah.
Just like Hail Caesar was the weirdest place for a Highlander reunion.
Yeah, but it was so funny to see these two, to have the two characters in this scene, and it was a running joke throughout it.
and then there's this one joke at the end and it's hilarious. It's basically a whole scene in slow motion. I won't tell exactly what happens, but it's a hilarious scene done almost entirely in slow motion to What a Wonderful World.
And it is freaking hilarious. It's like something out of it kind of comes off as something out of an old school, out of a 90s or 2000s comedy. It's like hilarious, and it was so funny.
And it's just, I mean, this movie knew how to strike a perfect balance between the emotional. It's an emotional roller coaster, and it knew when to go from one place to another. It's because in 1 second it can be making you laugh, the other second it can be making you cry. It
can just put you on the verge of tears. But unfortunately, like I just said, it's not going to be like an emotional. It's not going to be the same emotional punch that Inside Out had,
or Toy Story 3, or anything like that. But this is still a great movie. Pixar is still doing it,
and hopefully Cars 3 can blow its predecessor out of the water.
Won't be hard.
Yeah, it won't be hard. But otherwise, I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
Honestly, we've just been rambling for the last few minutes.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
Yeah. So until next time, guys. I guess that's for us to say like, favorite, and subscribe.
So guess just also leave in the comments, what did you think of Finding Dory if you have seen it? No spoilers in the comments.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.